Have you ever been in a season where nothing seems to move? Where every door you knock on stays closed, and every opportunity feels like it slips right through your hands? You pray, you give, you believe, but still, the breakthrough doesn't come. You start wondering, God, did you forget me? Did you forget the promises you made? If you've been there, you're not alone, because the silence before divine release is often the loudest test of faith. And right now, I believe with everything in me God is whispering to your spirit. Stay ready, because I'm about to release what you didn't see coming. You see, the enemy wants you to believe that delay means denial. But delay is God's design, his divine setup. He hides the blessing behind obedience, and he tests your heart before he fills your hands. Every prayer that seemed unanswered was actually an investment in your future. Every moment you chose to trust instead of panic, heaven recorded it. And now, the accounts are about to be settled. There's a shift happening in the spirit. Doors that were locked for years are beginning to move. Resources that seemed impossible are being released. And divine help, the kind you can't explain, is already in motion. This is not just about money. It's about alignment. It's about heaven responding to your obedience. Some of you have been through seasons of lost relationships, finances, health, confidence, and yet you kept your heart pure. You didn't curse God. You didn't give up. You said, Lord, even if you don't change my situation right now, I'll still worship you. And God saw it. He saw your faith in the famine. He saw your generosity when you barely had enough for yourself. He saw the tears you cried in secret while you told everyone, I'm fine. And now, he's saying, because you remained faithful in little, I'm about to trust you with much. You're about to see divine provision that doesn't make sense. Unexpected deposits, unplanned blessings, opportunities that appear out of nowhere. People who suddenly show up and say, God told me to help you. That's not coincidence, that's confirmation. But listen carefully, this next release is not random. It's strategic. It's tied to your purpose. God isn't blessing you so you can boast. He's blessing you so you can build. Build the vision. Build the kingdom. Build others who are still struggling where you once were. So, if you're in a place right now where the waiting feels heavy, where you're tired of the word soon and you're craving the word now, take heart. Heaven is preparing the release. And before it shows up in your bank account, it's showing up in your spirit. You can feel it, can't you? That quiet stirring. That inner assurance that something is shifting. You can't explain it, but deep down, you know, God is up to something big. So don't stop. Don't doubt. Don't let fatigue talk you out of faith. Because just when it looks like nothing is happening, God is moving the most. This is your prophetic alert. Get ready. Stay expectant. Your unexpected blessing is already scheduled in heaven's calendar. God's timing has never been random, it's revelational. He doesn't move by your calendar. He moves by your character. And when your heart aligns with heaven's purpose, the blessing has no choice but to locate you. Some of you have been waiting for provision, praying for breakthrough, and watching others get blessed while you stay in the waiting room. But let me remind you, delay does not mean denial. It means divine preparation. Habakkuk 2:3 says, For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not delay. Did you catch that? It will surely come. Not maybe, not possibly, not if everything works out. It will. The promise still stands. The provision is still scheduled. Heaven has not canceled your blessing, it's simply maturing it for maximum impact. When God releases something prematurely, it becomes a burden. But when he releases it at the right time, it becomes breakthrough. Think of Joseph. He was given a dream at 17, but the fulfillment didn't come until he had been betrayed, sold, imprisoned, and forgotten. Every season of pain was preparation for his promotion. And when the time was right, Pharaoh said the words Joseph had been waiting his whole life to hear. Bring him out of the dungeon. That's what's about to happen for you. You've been faithful in the dungeon, and God is getting ready to call your name in rooms you've never entered. Deuteronomy 8:18 reminds us, But remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant. Notice, it's not your job, not your degree, not your hustle. It's God who gives you the power, the supernatural ability to produce wealth. And that word power in Hebrew means divine enablement. In other words, God is about to anoint your hands to prosper. He's going to breathe on what looks ordinary and make it extraordinary. He'll turn your skill into strategy, your idea into income, your obedience into overflow. But before the release, he checks the reason. Can he trust you with what he's about to pour out? Will the money serve your mission, or will your mission serve the money? That's why he allowed the stretching. That's why he let you experience lack. So, when abundance comes, your heart will stay anchored in gratitude, not greed. Proverbs 22:26 says, "The blessing of the Lord makes rich, and he adds no sorrow with it." When God blesses you, it won't drain you. It won't come with guilt, compromise, or anxiety. It will come with peace, because heaven's blessings never bring burnout. Some of you are about to step into a season where provision follows purpose. Contracts you didn't chase will call you. Opportunities you didn't apply for will find you. And people you've never met will feel led to help you, not because of who you are, but because of whose you are. You've been faithful in a hidden place. You've prayed in secret, sown in silence, and worshipped in weakness. And now, God is saying, it's time to reveal what I've been building in private. Your unexpected blessing isn't random, it's recompense. He's about to repay you for every tear, every loss, every act of obedience no one saw. And when it comes, it won't be small. It will be pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Luke Kusi. Kolmekumente Kahdeksan says, give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. That's not poetic, that's prophetic. It's God's economic system at work, supernatural exchange for faithful obedience. So, if you're wondering when it will happen, remember this. God doesn't work on your schedule. He works through your surrender. He's not asking you to predict the day. He's asking you to prepare for it. Because when he moves, it will be sudden. And when he provides, it will be more than enough. Stay ready. Because when the divine calendar strikes your appointed hour, there will be no delay, no detour, and no doubt that this was all God. Let me take you to a story that perfectly reveals what happens when heaven decides it's time to release divine help and unexpected money. It's found in 1 Kings 17, where God sends his prophet Elijah into a season of divine surprise. There was famine in the land, everything was drying up. The economy had collapsed. Resources were gone. But while the nation panicked, heaven was planning. God said to Elijah, "Go to Zarephath. I have commanded a widow there to sustain you." Notice the woman didn't even know she had been chosen yet. God had already issued the command before the need appeared. That's the same way God works today. While you're worrying about what's running out, he's already preparing who's about to pour in. Elijah arrives and finds the widow gathering sticks. She's broke, hopeless, and ready to give up. All she has left is a handful of flour and a little oil. But when heaven gets involved, a little becomes limitless. Elias says, "Make me a small cake first, and your jar of flour will not be used up, and your jug of oil will not run dry until the Lord sends rain." It sounds unreasonable. Give the last bit away when you barely have enough? But obedience unlocks overflow. The widow's act of faith triggered heaven's economy. What looked like the end became the beginning. From that moment forward, the flour didn't run out. The oil never dried up, and her household lived in supernatural supply while others starved in the drought. Here's the revelation. When you obey God in scarcity, you qualify for his abundance. When you trust him with your not enough, he multiplies it into more than enough. The widow didn't receive a one-time blessing, she entered a continuous miracle. Every time she reached into the jar, there was more. Every morning she woke up, provision was waiting. That's what's about to happen in your life. You're stepping into a season where God's provision will not run dry. It won't make sense to your budget, your job, or your environment, but it will make sense to your spirit. Somebody's name is already being spoken in a conversation you're not in. Your next opportunity is already scheduled in heaven's calendar. God has commanded your Zarephath connection, someone divinely assigned to bless you, fund you, or open a door you couldn't reach on your own. Psalm 37:19 says, "In times of disaster they will not wither. In days of famine they will enjoy plenty." That's not just a promise, it's a prophecy. While others fear the collapse, you'll walk in covenant. While others face shortage, you'll live in surplus. Elijah's story isn't about the widow, it's about God's ability to create provision out of obedience. You may not see the miracle yet, but the command has already been spoken. Heaven is already moving. And before this year ends, you will stand in a testimony that says, "What I thought would be my last, God turned into my beginning." Take a deep breath for a moment. Close your eyes if you can. Because what I'm about to say isn't just for your mind, it's for your spirit. You've been asking God, when will my breakthrough come? You've been faithful, you've prayed, you've sown seeds, you've believed, but it still feels like nothing is changing. And maybe part of you is tired. But let me tell you, you are closer than you think. Sometimes, heaven goes quiet, not because God forgot, but because He's finalizing something behind the scenes. You see, faith isn't just believing when things are good. Faith is believing still, when everything looks the opposite of what God said. The truth is, your faith is being refined in the waiting. When God delays, He's not punishing, He's preparing. He's building the kind of strength in you that can hold the blessing once it comes. Because God doesn't give breakthrough to break you, He gives it to build you. And right now, He's preparing you to manage more than you ever asked for. Not just money, influence, peace, favor, and wisdom. You won't just receive a blessing, you'll become one. Reflection moment. Maybe you've lost something, a job, a relationship, or a dream. Maybe you've seen doors close that you prayed would stay open. But what if God wasn't closing them against you? He was closing them for you? Because some doors would have drained your oil. Some people would have delayed your destiny. Some opportunities would have destroyed your peace. God's no is often a setup for a better yes. And here's the part many forget. Before God sends divine help, He often brings divine testing. The widow had to give first. Elijah had to walk into famine before he saw favor. Abraham had to lift the knife before God revealed the ram. Faith activates what fear postpones. So today, stop saying, "I don't have enough." Start declaring, "I have a seed, and my seed carries my supply." When you thank God for what's left, He multiplies it. When you move with gratitude instead of complaint, you open heaven's gates. Philippians 4:19 reminds us, "And my God will supply all your needs according to His riches in glory by Christ Jesus." That's not a someday promise, that's a now reality. Even if you don't see the flow yet, the faucet is open in the Spirit. Now, let's bring this to a personal moment. A short prayer. Lord, I trust You with what I have. I release fear of lack and receive Your promise of provision. Multiply my obedience into abundance, not just for me, but through me. Use my life as a vessel of overflow and testimony. Practical steps to live this message today. Be grateful for what remains. Start and end each day naming 3 things you still have, no matter how small. Gratitude attracts more grace. Sow in faith, even when it's uncomfortable. Whether it's time, kindness, or resources, plant something today. The seed that leaves your hand never leaves your life. Speak abundance, not lack. Replace "I can't afford this" with "God will provide what I need." Your words create the world you live in. You're not waiting for the miracle is waiting for you to align your faith. Heaven is saying, just trust me a little longer. I'm closer than you realize. Every delay is a setup. Every quiet moment is a construction zone. And when the release comes, it will come suddenly. Let these words settle in your spirit. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not too late. Even when the world whispers, it's too hard, too late, too impossible. Heaven is whispering back, it's your time. I've been preparing this moment for you. Every tear you've shed, every sleepless night, every unanswered call, God has seen it all. Every moment of doubt, every anxious thought, every prayer spoken in secret, God has recorded it in His book of remembrance. And He is saying, wait just a little longer. The provision, the help, the breakthrough is coming, and it will be more than you imagined. Feel it in your chest, that quiet stirring of hope. That's God's Spirit moving, reminding you that your faith is not in vain. Remember this. When God releases, He does not release in halves. He releases in fullness. Sudden favor, unexpected money, divine connections, miraculous help. And it's never just for you, it's always for His glory and to bless others through you. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture it. A gift landing in your life you didn't anticipate. A door opening that you didn't even see. A word spoken in your favor at the exact right moment. This is not a dream. This is the very heartbeat of God for your life. Psalm 23:5 says, "You prepare a table before me, in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows." That overflowing cup is yours, not tomorrow, not in someone else's time, but in the perfect, divine timing that only God can orchestrate. So stand, breathe, and declare it over your life. I am ready. I am aligned. I receive your provision, Lord. I walk in favor, and my life overflows with your goodness. What you have for me will not pass me by. Hold on to that truth. You're not waiting in vain. You're not forgotten. You are being prepared. And when the release comes, it will be sudden, abundant, and unmistakably from heaven. Benediction. May you rest in his peace tonight and rise tomorrow with faith that he's still working. May your heart remain open to his provision, your hands ready to receive, and your spirit aligned with his divine purpose. Remember, the wait is not punishment, it's preparation. The blessing is not delayed, it is perfected. And the help you are longing for is closer than you think. If this message blessed you, don't let it stop here. Subscribe, comment your prayer, and share this with someone who's waiting for their breakthrough too. You are ready. You are aligned. And God is about to release his provision in ways that will leave you in awe.